I can't run my joke anymore. Can't do the jokes. I can't say Barcola has agreed terms since the building of the pyramids anymore. The joke has run its course. Bradley Barcola is officially a Liverpool baller. That's right. That's right. The season is saved. The season is saved. The club is saved. No longer do we need liquidation because Bradley Barcola's here. £100 million for Senor Bradley Barcola. That's right. The fourth choice winger for PSG is here. I'm excited. I'm excited. With like genuinely good signing. Good signing. Good signing. Bradley Barcola. It's got a lot of people excited now. It may have come a day late and $1 short, but a lot of people are showing some serious enthusiasm behind Senor Bradley Barcola. Senor Bradley Barcola is finally a Liverpool player. What an odd time to release that, though. It was like 1:20 in the morning Pacific Standard Time where Fabrizio Romano sent that tweet. I woke up. I didn't even see it until like 45 minutes after I woke up. It was kind of buried. You know, it wasn't all over Twitter. I was on the toilet for my morning deuce and I'm scrolling and then I see it and I'm like, whoa, that's odd. He actually went through. It actually happened. Now, I must say it is a verbal agreement. We got a here we go, but it is a verbal agreement. Now, last summer, not to be that guy, but last summer, we did in fact get a here we go that didn't turn into fruition. So until I see him at the AXA Training Center in the Adidas-sponsored Liverpool training kit and signing the contract tweeted by Liverpool FC's official Twitter account, I'm not going to blow my load. Last summer taught us that you can't start singing. The fat lady doesn't sing until Liverpool tweets the dude signing the contract. So until I see that, but we did get a here we go. So that's cool. That's cool. You know, rather than 5 problems at this football club, we now have 4 problems. 4 is better than 5. That is a statistical improvement. 20% improvement, to be exact. But we've been talking about this all summer. We've been saying all summer that Barcola is just one problem. The left wing is just one problem. Now, if you sell Cody Gakpo, you undo the entire signing. Let me be abundantly clear. If you sell Cody Gakpo, Barcola means nothing. If you sell Gakpo, this signing is completely negated. Unless you sell Gakpo and you buy 2 more wingers. But if you're going to buy 2 more wingers, then you're not going to buy a midfielder and a right back. So even if we sold Gakpo and we bought 2 more wingers, we're still fucked because we still have to deal with this same dog shit midfield and the same absent right back. But let's just get the positives out of the way, right? Because I'm so negative. I'm such a disingenuous, negative person. I must not be a fan. Barcola provides pace to the front line. He provides quality. Lord knows Barcola would have scored that chance that fucking Gakpo had against Newcastle. At least Barcola would have gotten a shot off. Everyone remember Gakpo's little break against Newcastle? Barcola at least he gets a shot off rather than Gakpo tripping over himself while making the cutback. So Barcola is going to provide us some pace. He's going to provide some directness. He's going to provide some youth and experience. He's a back-to-back two-time World War champion. He's coming off of back-to-back UCLs. Could Barcola become the first person to win 3 straight Champions Leagues with 2 different teams? I don't know. Hey, all I'm saying is we have a storyline here. We've got a storyline. Barcola could become the first person to win 3 straight champs with 2 different teams. The storyline is written. Can we make it happen? I don't know if you guys saw our fucking run in the league phase, but holy shit, did we get lucky. What a softball run. 6 teams I've never heard of, Inter Milan and Atletico Madrid. Wow. We lucked the fuck out. Seriously, like I don't think it could have gone any better for Liverpool. We don't have to play anyone. And we handled Inter Milan last season. Even though we scammed a win, it would have been a draw. And Atletico Madrid, we put belt to ass to Atletico Madrid. Now, it did require a late Virgil van Dijk header, but that was probably our best performance of the season, just in terms of like what we created. But it's just the league phase. Even with heavy rotation, the league phase doesn't scare me. We could easily make top 32 in that league phase. Easily. 100%. Will we make top 8? I don't know. But we've made top 8 the last 2 seasons, and to be honest with you, I don't really see the advantage. Let's make it a little bit more challenging. So we got a nice UCL draw. And we got Barcola through the door verbally through the door. I have not seen him sign the contract. So he's verbally through the door. No contract signed, though. Just verbally through the door. It's like a promise, But that only solves one problem. And I don't want you to be too gassed with just the signing of Barcola. We've allowed this saga to go on so long. And I have to, listen, I have to say fair play because you got him for a much lower price than what PSG demanded. So I understand why you did it. But the problem here is that you stalled all of the other business in order to get this done. Financially speaking, that shouldn't make any sense because if Tottenham can spend 500 million, then Liverpool, which is a richer club financially in terms of what we make year over year, should have been able to spend whatever the fuck they wanted. It's good business to get them down to 100 million with 40 million add-ons. Let's just pray Barcola doesn't hit those add-ons. But that doesn't justify you stalling and sitting on your hands for the rest of the window. You've now put yourself in a position to where you have to do so much. I mean, we literally are. We literally make more revenue. Deloitte, Prem, revenue chart. I would literally prove this right now. This is from the Deloitte Football Money League. Hang on. I have to wait for Google Chrome to load because Google Chrome is dog shit. I mean, again, this is from the 24-25 season, but I can't imagine that Tottenham Hotspur over the last 2 years has made up 200 million pounds. Like, I can't imagine that over the last 2 seasons, Tottenham Hotspur, over the last season, right? Because this was 24-25, 25-26 being last season. So we're waiting for the Deloitte report for that. But I can't imagine that in 1 year, in a year where Tottenham Hotspur almost got relegated, that they managed to make up a deficit of 200 million fucking euros. You have to look at the club. Otherwise, you're talking about, if you're not looking at the club's earnings, well, then we're talking about a breach of financial fair play. You have to use the money that the club makes. You bet your ass that this includes Anfield. Commercial revenue, right? So commercial revenue using the stadium would be commercial revenue. Either way, doesn't excuse the fact that we sat on we sat on our ass all summer, and now you want me to be over the moon about Barcola? Brother, we've been sitting here with terms agreed for 2 months. I'm not going to do a backflip because we got it over the line. I'm not going to lose my mind. I'm not going to go crazy. And now we have to settle for panic buys. We have 4 days to get a midfielder in. We have 4 days to get a right winger in. Remember, Barcola's not a right winger. So you signed a winger, but you still don't have anyone who naturally plays at right wing. So you still have to get a right winger. You still have to get a midfielder, and you still have to get a right back. And that's just to meet the bare expectation. Just to meet the bare minimum, you need to buy a right winger, a midfielder, and a right back. That's just bare minimum, people. Bare minimum. That's not even like an improvement. That's just filling out the squad. That doesn't even cover replacing McAllister. That doesn't even cover the 2 midfielders that I don't rate in Ryan Gravenberch and Dominic Szoboszlai. Now, I'm going to propose a concept here that's going to make some people uncomfortable. Over the last 2 summers, Liverpool have now officially spent £500 million on that attack. Munoz, Barcola, Wirtz, Isak. Those 4 alone. Over 400 million, close to 500 million. When you spend that kind of money, I better see 90 fucking goals scored in the Premier League. Ekitike, thank you. I forgot about Ekitike because he's injured. Big up Ekitike. When you spend that much money, I better see 90 fucking goals in the Prem alone. There better not be a single game where we don't score. Not a single one. When you spend that kind of money, you're telling me we're going to score the most goals every year. So now the pressure is 100% on these players. I'm not going to be nice, and neither should you. We're too nice to these guys. We could afford to be nice to Sadio Mane. We didn't drop 100 million pounds on him. We could afford to be nice to Roberto Firmino. We didn't drop 100 million pounds on him. We could afford to be nice to Luis Diaz. We didn't drop 100 million pounds on him. I'm not going to be nice to Barcola. I'm not going to be nice to Isak. I'm not going to be nice to Wirtz. 400 million pounds later, I better see instant fucking results. Instantaneously. Wirtz is on a razor-thin edge. He puts in another performance like that, it's time to go back to the old midfield and sit his ass on the bench. If Isak cannot perform or figure out a way to become cohesive with this team unit, it's time to bring in Cody Gakpo and let him play the 9. Or put Rio at the 9. Or put Wirtz at the 9. If these guys don't show up and put in performances, it's time to hold bench. 2 of you have been here for an entire year. Barcola is the only one that will get any slack. Any slack at all, Barcola, I give it to you because you didn't even get a preseason. You didn't even get a preseason. Which unfortunately is a byproduct of the way that we negotiated this deal. I get it. You brought it down, but also he's coming in without a preseason. Sure as shit's not available for fucking Nottingham Forest. And we'll talk about that towards the end. We'll talk about Nottingham Forest towards the end of the stream, but at least we can say that this saga is over. See, look at this fucking asshole. See, you're the kind of person, that, you know, you're starving on the streets and you become so eternally grateful when someone throws you a loaf of bread. Brother, that only feeds you for the hour. You're eventually going to get hungry again, and you're going to need more food. So you could be super grateful for that bread, or you can live in the reality of this bread solves my problem for right now. But tomorrow I'm going to be hungry again, and I won't have any bread. Again, like I said at that Newcastle game, if Barcola was in the team, nothing would have changed. Barcola would have changed nothing in that game. If we had gotten this deal done a month ago and Bradley Barcola was there, I don't see how he positively affects that game in any way, shape, or form. The midfield cannot build up. The midfield cannot control the ball. The midfield cannot connect the defensive line to the attacking line. So what does adding an attacker to the equation do? The crux of this entire problem in this team lies with the 3 in the middle. The most pivotal 3 positions on the pitch are your 3 midfielders. You want to know how good a team can be? Look at who the 3 in the middle are. That's all you need to see. That does not mean how good they are individually. That means how good they are as a unit. Again, let me make that abundantly clear. You do not need 3 of the best top 10 midfielders in the world to have an unbelievable midfield. You don't need that. What you need is a cohesive unit. You need a 3 that complement each other. You need 3 profiles that help each other out. Right now, the profiles of our midfielders, they make no sense and they don't complement each other. And that's besides the lack of quality. So again, Barcola, great signing. We had a winger problem. Doesn't change the fact that you still need a right winger. You still need a right back. And Lord knows, my personal opinion, you needed 2 midfielders, but I'll settle for 1. None of this changes the fact that I only have 2 center backs on the book next season, but I get it. No one in this fan base thinks in the future. I get that. No one who lives in the Liverpool fan base will ever think about the future. You've made that abundantly clear that you're all short-sighted. I get it. You don't want to think about the fact that Leone and Jacquet are the only center backs within contract next season. I understand you. I hear you. You want to ignore that reality like you ignored Slot. I get it. It's uncomfortable to think about that, but that's the truth. What happens if McAllister puts in another shit season and we don't sign a midfielder? Well, I've now further delayed the replacement of McAllister. McAllister is coming off of 2 shit seasons. He was not good in the fucking Prem title race. He wasn't. And he was dog shit last year. He puts in another shit season and you don't buy a midfielder to replace him. You've further set yourself back. Not to mention, you sold Curtis Jones. And now you want to sell Stefan Bajcetic? You want to sell another body? And not replace him? If all Liverpool do is get Barcola in the door, it's still a C. The window is still a 70% at best. Teetering on the edge of D. You're right at 70. So on paper, it counts as a C, but it really feels like a D because you're not that much above 70%. In fact, you're right at 70%. And I feel like I'm being generous. And now everyone's obsessed with Lamine Camara. We waited so long that now we're all just obsessed with one name, and we're just like, just get Lamine Camara. Just get him in. Just get him in. Just get him in. Let's ignore all of the other deals that we could have gone for all summer with other midfielders. Bro, Szoboszlai cannot pass. You're actually a fucking idiot. Szoboszlai's passing range is limited to how much space and time he can have. Szoboszlai cannot conduct himself in tight areas. He has a terrible first touch. He is exceptionally poor at intricate 1-2s. He's a dead ball merchant. What he does do is cover a lot of ground. He covers a lot of space, and he can make up for other players, right? But he also doesn't put in tackles. He doesn't make challenges. So he's just filling space. He's not doing anything with that space defensively. At right back, he's exceptionally poor because he vacates his position and then he doesn't recover. He got cooked multiple times at right back. I'm not saying Szoboszlai is shit, but you guys are acting like Szoboszlai is in the conversation for like a top 5 midfielder in the league. He's not. My criticism of Szoboszlai is based on the fact that people genuinely think he's one of the best midfielders in the league, and he's not even close. He's not even close. At best, he's a solid player. If I had to rate him on a scale of 10, I would give him a 7. But there's people in this fan base that think he's a diamond, that think he's a 9.5. I think those people are fucking blind and insane. And the problem in this fan base, because everyone has to treat all of our players like they're a 5-year-old kid. You treat our players like they're our children. They're my fucking employee. You get paid $250,000 a week. If you can't take some criticism, get the fuck out of my club. He is vastly overrated. I guarantee if Szoboszlai does not score those free kicks against City and Arsenal, everyone views his fucking season differently. It's the same thing with Declan Rice. Take away those free kicks from Declan Rice against Real Madrid, and you have a drastic change in perspective. That's the thing with football. We view free kicks, and it's like free points. You score a worldy free kick, you're automatically world class. I said the same criticisms about Szoboszlai when we won the Prem. That's why I didn't like him in the 10, because he can't play quickly and he can't operate in tight spaces. He can't dribble defenders. He can't break the lines with his passing. He can't play in tight spaces. What can he do? He can recycle the ball. He can pass it back to the goalkeeper, and he can score 30-yard free kicks. Szoboszlai is the biggest culprit of slowing down play because he can't play fast. Szoboszlai is always looking to pass it back to the goalkeeper because he can't play fast. He doesn't have the technical ability. McAllister is better on the ball than Szoboszlai. Gravenberch is better on the ball than Szoboszlai. But from a dead ball, Szoboszlai is better than pretty much anyone in the world. Like, did everyone just miss the first 6 seconds against Newcastle? Did everyone just forget that? Gravenberch gives the ball to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai's first touch of the season. Gravenberch is trying to play quick. He's running up into open space, and what does Szoboszlai do? He tries to pass the ball backwards, but he passes it directly to fucking Wisa. 6 seconds in, we have our first turnover of the game. Because Ryan Gravenberch wanted to play quick and hit them fast and not play direct, and Szoboszlai can't do that. Again, I'm not saying that Szoboszlai is shit. I'm saying that he is not a diamond. He's not a world-class midfielder. He's never going to be a world-class midfielder because he's not well-rounded enough. He's not well-rounded enough to be a world-class midfielder. He does not have the technical ability to be one. Vitinha is better than him. João Neves is better than him. Declan Rice is better than him. I already said I already said Barcola is a good signing, but it solves only one of 5 problems. So we've gone from a 100% issue to an 80% issue. So yes, it's a good signing, but come on, man. Declan Rice is a better dribbler than Dominik Szoboszlai. Declan Rice is better at defending than Dominik Szoboszlai. Declan Rice actually attempts challenges, and Dominik Szoboszlai never has attempted a tackle in his entire life. Declan Rice crashes the box better than Dominik Szoboszlai. Declan Rice is better in tight spaces than Dominik Szoboszlai. Declan Rice is not better at free kicks than Dominik Szoboszlai. Dominik Szoboszlai is better than Declan Rice at free kicks, even though Declan Rice himself has scored 2 worldies. But in terms of a player playing in a double pivot, Declan Rice is better at every single thing than Dominik Szoboszlai. From open play, it's not even a conversation. Declan Rice towers a shadow over Dominik Szoboszlai from open play in the positions that they play because they both occupy the double pivot. And to even suggest that Szoboszlai is in the conversation with Declan Rice is an insult to Dominik Szoboszlai, because now you're not being honest. Now you're being disingenuous. Now you're leading with emotion. You're analyzing with emotion. You're doing a disservice to him. He's better at everything from open play. The only argument here is who can strike the ball better from a dead ball. And to be honest with you, Dominik Szoboszlai might have a better shot than Declan Rice, but Declan Rice is better at delivering the ball into the box for other people to score. So they're both pretty much equal. Declan Rice is better at delivering corners than Dominik Szoboszlai, and Declan Rice is better at delivering free kicks from an area where the free kick taker will not be shooting. An elite attack doesn't mean anything if the midfield can't control the game. If your midfield cannot control, and if your midfield cannot connect the back line to the front line, I don't care how much money you spend on the front line, it's not going to cook. That, guys, that isn't even to mention It isn't even like we're not even mentioning the fact that we can't even counterattack. Like Soboslai does not have the ability to counterattack. Gravenberch does not have the ability to counterattack. McAllister does. You see now, McAllister could be put into the double pivot because McAllister can counter. McAllister can play quick football. McAllister can break the lines with a pass. But we can't, guys, we couldn't counterattack Newcastle, who were fielding a 17-year-old midfielder. You want to counterattack big teams? Did anyone see our counterattack last season? Has anyone seen Wirtz try to fucking counterattack? Has anyone seen Wirtz shoot the fucking football? Genuinely, have you guys seen Wirtz's last 20 shots? It's flaccid. It's a flaccid, petulant shot. There's no vice to it. I'll give Soboslai that. Soboslai is probably a better finisher than Declan Rice. Soboslai has a better technique on his shot than Declan Rice. And Soboslai can sure as shit kick the ball harder than Declan Rice. But in terms of doing a job and a double pivot, it's not a conversation. It's not a conversation. Soboslai also needs the space and time in the final third. Again, I don't think Soboslai's terrible. I don't think he's a 2 out of 10. And that's the thing. If you criticize a player, people think that you're saying that he's shit. I'm saying that he's overrated. I don't have the energy for panels, bro. I don't have the energy for panels. I don't want to sit here and talk in circles or have to sit there for 15 minutes so that other people can get their time to say things that I don't agree with, and I can't interject because I can't, Napoleon the fucking panel. I hate this sentiment. Who the fuck even watches that guy? If you watch him, you're an idiot. He doesn't really provide reasons. I'm giving you reasons behind what I'm saying. I'm also not drunk or smoking cigarettes or on the honey pack. You know what I mean? I don't get up to take a piss every 15 minutes to go, you know what I mean? So you could have that opinion, though. It's all good. I don't really know what Wirtz needs, dude. What Wirtz needs is Wirtz needs a nice sack. Wirtz needs some balls. He needs to start being braver. He needs to start taking more risk. He needs to stop playing so afraid. And he needs to prove to me that he's capable of dribbling someone. He's trying to play perfect football. Wirtz, give me something a little bit more raw. Don't be afraid to fail. Because when you fail, when you're afraid to fail, it looks 1,000 times worse. If Wirtz tried to take the game by the scruff of the neck and was trying to impose himself and he was failing, I would think better of him than playing scared and failing scared. If you fail bravely, there's only so much I can do. You got to go out on your sword. You got to go out on your shield. My biggest gripe with him is that he just plays too scared. Show me why we spent 115 million pounds on you. Show me something. Give me glimpses. Give me hope. Give me freedom. Give me fire. I think we finished 4th or 5th. Even with Barcola. 4th or 5th. 38 games is a lot. $38 games is a lot. Fourth or fifth. You know, if we get a midfielder and we get a right back and we get a right winger, maybe third. Maybe. But Iraola is going to need time to implement his ideas. And that's even under the most perfect conditions. Even getting everything in this summer perfectly right, having no mistakes, signing all of the right players, every single one of them hits. Let's say Victor Munoz hits. Let's say Jaquette hits. Let's say Barcola hits. Let's say Verts turns it around. Let's say Isak turns it around. Let's say Ekitike comes back early from his Achilles because he's Superman. Let's say, we get a right back, we get a midfielder, both of them hit. Let's say we get a right winger, both of them hit. It's still going to take Iraola a certain amount of time to implement the way he wants to play. I can't look at the manager's tactics within these first 10 games. It's going to take time for the players to adapt to his style. It's going to take time for the players to undo what Arne Slot did, even under the most perfect conditions. Which is why leaving all of this to the end of the window is even worse. Because I now only have 37 games. Barcola can only play a maximum of 35 games. He's going to miss Nottingham Forest. I'm sorry, 36 games. I mean, genuinely, does anyone here, honestly, in their heart of hearts, think that Gravenberch and Szoboszlai, from what we have seen, possess the ability to control and dominate a game? Does anyone actually think that? Does anyone think that a double pivot of Szoboszlai and Gravenberch can dominate a game? Anyone? Anyone in the world? Simple. Listen, I love this. I love this. Waza, I love that you're presenting the argument that people love to present. Now, let's get some facts out of the way. Fact number one, there's at least 8 players who were in that team who are no longer in this team. Let's count them off. Ibrahima Konate, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andrew Robertson, Mohamed Salah, Curtis Jones, Darwin Nunez, Diogo Jota, rest his soul, Luis Diaz. There's 8 players, almost all of them being starters, that are no longer in this team. Oh, and by the way, one of those players put up the most amount of GA in history for a 38-game season. Oh, and by the way, every single time Liverpool dropped points in the second half of the season, the nearest closest team, being Arsenal, also dropped points. You can go back and you can look at it date by date. Liverpool draw, Arsenal draw. Liverpool lose, Arsenal lose. So, to even talk about how that midfield 3 worked then compared to now is such a disingenuous conversation. We're talking about 8 fucking players that are not here now, but you want to tell me that the midfield worked then? What are you smoking, dude? That's like telling me that calculators in 1930 worked better than calculators in 2000. There's 70 years of history that occurred and an infinite amount of changes that makes the comparison between those two things impossible. So please, enough of this. Grab Sobo McAllister worked. Just throw that fucking argument down the chimney. Burn it. It's irrelevant and illogical. It's a disingenuous argument to make. It's such a disingenuous argument. Not to mention, you can't bench Verts. Like, I know that I say that he has to hold bench, but we can't bench him. You spent 115 million pounds and you benched him last season. You bench him again this year, I better see a here we go in January. If Verts starts holding bench this fall, I better see here we go Bayern Munich 150 million pounds to Liverpool for Florian Wirtz. I better see that instantaneously. If he cannot fit into this club in the first 3 months of the season, he has to go. Make a profit while you still can. Bayern will spend 120 million on him. They fucking will. And he'll cook in Germany. So you can't even run that midfield three unless you want to sell Wirtz. If what you're telling me is you don't want Florian Wirtz at the football club, then we can go back to McAllister, Gravenberch, and Szoboszlai. But that you are then telling me it's time to go to Wirtz. You cannot be one. You cannot be both of those ways at the same time. You have to pick one. You cannot be Florian Wirtz is here for the future, but also we're going back to the old midfield. That's not the way it works when you drop that much money. If Florian Wirtz cost 15 million pounds, I would say, you know what? You have a point. But he cost 9 figures more than that. So we don't have the fucking luxury to run that midfield to begin with, even though that point is irrelevant because we had 8 other players. I saw some people shitting on Frimpong. And I know that our fan base, they love to point at the surface level issues. They love to say, oh, he's shit. He's shit. He's shit. He was the last player involved in the play. He's shit. There's a whole thing with Konate. You're the last dude that I saw on my screen before the ball went into the net. So you're shit. Frimpong and Kirkes were always going to look like shit in that game because the midfield couldn't control anything. They always couldn't control anything. Give me a second. Our fullbacks were never going to look good against fucking Newcastle. Not with the way that we were playing. Giving away the ball at every possible opportunity in the attacking phases of play. We were always going to get counterattacked. Always. I mean, listen, I think you're a professional rage baiter at this point. You're waiting for me to bite. I don't want to bite. I'm not going to bite. It's not happening. I love rage bait. I love to rage, for sure. Not going to bite on that one. But we love to just like point at the last phase and say it must have been that guy's fault that goal went in the net. Right? We look at Kirkes getting beat by Alanga and we think, yo, shit, man. God, Kirkes sucks. Does he? Is it Kirkis's fault that the midfield vacated the fucking center of the pitch? Is it Kirkis's fault that Soboslai and Gravenberch, who are supposed to be my holding double pivot, are both further than Alexander Isak? Can Anthony Elanga outpace any fullback in the world? Yes. If Anthony Elanga has a running head start against the stationary fullback, is he beating him for pace? Yes. Is it the backline's fault that I had 3 midfielders surrounding Wisa and no one decided to tackle him? Seriously. Is it anyone in the backline's fault that Wisa dribbled 3 fucking Liverpool players, none of which tackled him in the center of the park? Now, Jeremy Frimpong played some exceptionally poor crosses, but we all know that Frimpong's biggest strength is getting to the byline. You knew what you signed when you got him. You want him to be effective in the attacking phase of play, he has to deliver those crosses from the byline. And last season, what did he do? He delivered goals to us from the byline. Now, what does Frimpong need to be able to do in order to get to the byline? Work with the right winger. What do you need in order for Frimpong to work with the right winger? A fucking right winger. What have all of you complained about not having all summer? A fucking right winger. No, let's be reactionary and let's not look under the fucking hood of this problem. Let's be idiots and let's say Frimpong shit, Kurtkiss shit, boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Where does the defense begin? Pop quiz to the chat. Where does the defense begin? Pop fucking quiz. Type your answer. Let's see how smart you are. Where does the defense begin on the football pitch? Who are my first 3 defenders on the pitch? There's a hint. Waiting. Come on, you guys, listen. Everyone's telling me that they know more. Where does the defense begin? Did Liverpool press a single fucking moment in that game? Does anyone remember does anyone remember a single Liverpool player not named Kumas pressing that whole game? Anyone? Does anyone remember anyone last season pressing ever? Anyone at all? Can anyone tell me the area of the pitch that provided the 2 dangerous chances to Newcastle? Can anyone tell me where the 2 dangerous chances that Newcastle had spawned from? Where was the spawn point for the attack? Where did the attack spend 85% of its time? How many fucking chances did Newcastle have? 3? Where did they spawn from? Right through my midfield too. So please tell me, if the first portion of my defense isn't defending, they're not pressing. If the first portion of my defense isn't counter pressing, they're not pressing after losing the ball. If my 2 midfielders aren't sitting in fucking midfield and both counterattacks spend 80% of their time running 40 yards up the middle of the pitch, how are you going to blame Kirkes and fucking Frimpong? Can anyone tell me the positive actions besides Victor Munoz that the wingers made on the wing in attack? If a fullback is going to be effective, they have to operate from the wide spaces. But in order for a fullback to be effective, the winger has to be effective. Can anyone tell me What winger was effective in a wide area? Cody Gakpo scored, but it was from a central area and it was from 40 yards out. So what winger besides Victor Munoz winning a penalty was effective on the wing? Did anyone else notice Alexander Isak doing a couple cameos as our right winger in that game? So if my attacker, if the guy whose job it is to attack in those spaces is failing, and the fullback is failing to operate in those spaces as well, you think it's a fair judgment to blame the defender in the attacking space and not the winger in the attacking space. Is this the logic that you're presenting to me? Do you guys see how short-sighted you can be? Do you guys see how short-sighted people can be in analyzing football? They look at a couple highlights of Jeremy Frimpong kicking a ball directly into another player, and Frimpong was not good. But then they're not even asking themselves, am I putting him in a position to be good? You see, when you look at any player on the pitch, the first question that you have to ask yourself in order to judge anything in life, and tell me I'm wrong, right? If you want to judge anything in life, your first question is more than likely going to be, am I in a position to succeed? Yes or no? Am I platforming myself to be positive? Yes or no? Am I giving myself a chance? Yes or no? If the answer is no to any of those questions, are you going to be overcritical of yourself? Yes or no? Let's say you play Sunday League and you've never played goalkeeper in your life, and I stick you in the net and you concede 5 goals. Are you going to hang your head over it and cry? Are you going to be upset when you on the drive home? You've never played goalkeeper, but you conceded 5 goals. Are you really going to kick yourself in the ass for that? Really? I didn't exactly put you in a position to succeed there, now did I? So I'm just confused, man. I'm just confused at why people can't even ask that question to begin with. Why is that not the first thing that comes to your mind? Well, was he even in a position to be good? Did we put Frimpong and Kirkes in a position to succeed in that game? Does anyone think that we did? Anyone here? I'm looking for a single yes. Does anyone think that we played in a way that should have put Frimpong and Kirkes in a position to perform? Anyone at all? In your heart of hearts, you think that they had the chances to perform and succeed. Yeah, but Amir, you've already proven that you're a fucking idiot because you're sitting here saying that Slot would have fixed this and bring back Slot. So you don't count. But big up Amir. But does anyone actually think that we put them in a position to be positive effects on the attack? Does anyone think that our wingers were productive in the attack from wing play? Was Cody Gakpo effective in wide areas on the left? Was Rio Angamoa effective in wide areas on the right? Was Isak affected down the middle? Was he effective down the middle? Was the midfield effective in counterattacks? I haven't seen anything, so I'm assuming that your silence is proving my point here. Either that or I just have a bunch of lurkers in my chat. But big up the lurkers. I love the lurking crew. I like to lurk too. It's nice to tune into someone, but not let them know that you're there. I'm watching you, but you don't know I'm watching you. I'm keeping receipts in my brain. I saw plenty of performances last season where Kirkes was good. I saw plenty where Frimpong was good. But there was always something else on the pitch that was worse that over highlighted it. There was always something more important to fucking worry about. There was always somewhere else to pay attention to. I know, Amir. That's why I'm telling you to fuck yourself, because I know that you can take it. I understand that you're joking. I'm joking too. I know that you have thick skin and you can handle it. Why are we talking about fullbacks, guys? Why are we talking? It could not be less of an issue. The only issue at the fullback position is the fact that Costas Tsimikas is here and I only have one right back. That's the bigger issue. The bigger issue is depth. If my midfield was controlling games, I wouldn't have to worry so much about my fucking fullbacks. And that was a problem in the Klopp era. We gave away the ball cheaply. And then of course our fucking fullbacks are going to get cooked. It was the same thing last season. We gave away the ball cheaply. Of course we're going to get cooked in counter. This is the fucking Prem. These teams set themselves up to counter the ball. It's like you're mind blown when a team that's prepared to give you 75% of the ball hits you on a counterattack because you get lazy in the offensive zone. You get lazy in the final third, and then you wonder why the counterattacking team counterattacked you. Like, what are we doing? We're working ass backwards in terms of our fucking analysis here. I think a DM helps mitigate counters. But again, that's not the crux of the midfield issue. I don't believe, it is my opinion that Liverpool's midfield issue is not centered around the idea of a defensive-minded player. That's just not it. It's not about having a player and just telling them, you sit there and you stay there. But, now I'm sort of losing a number by doing that. It's more about the fact that our players are not technically gifted enough to control football games. They don't possess the ability to be cohesive and fluid. That's the crux of the issue. Not that no one sits back. It's that we're sloppy. We give away the ball cheaply. We can't make more than 20-yard passes. We can't stand near each other. We have to spread out. We walk across the fucking pitch. Again, Liverpool covered the second lowest amount of distance in the Prem through the first game. So we're too spread out. We're not good enough on the ball, and we give it away cheaply. That has nothing to do with having a DM. That has to do with having quality technical players in midfield. That's the bigger issue than having a defensive-minded destroyer. Oh, we need a defensive-minded destroyer. No, you need players who can retain possession and bop it around the pitch. You need guys who can control the flow of the game. You need guys who can slow it down, who can speed it up. That's the real problem. But everyone thinks it's just, oh, we don't have a DM. I don't have some guy that just sits on the center, that just sits at the center circle. Now, when you see Gravenberch and Szoboszlai both more advanced than Alexander Isak, I don't think that that's Iraola telling them to do that. I think that that's players lacking discipline. That's something that the manager will have to coach. That's something that should improve. What the manager can't improve is Gravenberch getting aggressive and giving away the ball cheaply twice. Manager can't do anything about that because the manager can't be on the pitch. This isn't a video game. It's not like, oh, I'm the manager and I control the players. And again, if you get a DM, if you get a lone destroyer, who's getting dropped? What's the new formation? You only get 3 midfielders and one of them has to be a 10. So how are you changing it? Who comes out of the team? You get the destroyer, who's coming out? Which one are you dropping, Grav or Sabo? Or are you moving Sabo to right back? Which is an idiotically fucking stupid thing to do. But let's just say you move Sabo to right back. Okay. Are we still doing a double pivot? That still means that Gravenberch is not allowed to get forward. Unless I'm playing a 4-1-2. But no. You don't want to think about all these different issues. You just want to say, let me use the buzzword. The buzzword of the day is DM. The buzzword of the day is defensive minded. Give me a defensive minded midfielder. I need a player with defensive instincts. I love this. It's such a cheap characteristic in connotation. Oh, give me the defensive minded, defensive characteristic player. Now let's just say, for instance, that we do give you what you want. We give you your defensive minded, defensive destroyer in the midfield. Well, now Wirtz and Soboslai or Wirtz and Gravenberch, they need to learn a new way to play. You've added the DM. Well, now the other 2 midfielders need to learn how to work with that DM. He's not going to get progressive. He's not going to advance. So now I got to learn to work with him. What's that going to take? Time. That's going to take time. No matter how you slice the cake here, in order to get better, regardless of investment, this fan base is going to have to learn this little word called patience. You're going to have to start to become patient. What if? What if? What if? What if we win the league? Well, what if we win the league? You're saying all this, but what if we win the league? What if we win the league? What if we win? What if we win? What if we win the league? What if Oprah kicks my door down and gives me a brand new copy of GTA 6 before everyone else? What if, man? You know, what if I got a one wish willow and I just got $1 billion? What if, man? What if? What if? What if? I ain't gonna do what ifs. If we do that, we would have shattered our expectations, which is a great season. But expectations are just expectations. My expectation is not to win the league, and it wasn't to win the league when we did win the league. And if we do win the league, that's amazing, but that's not my expectation. And that's a big what if. And I have 37 more fucking games. So I'm just going to leave you with that opinion. The fuck is what? Hussam sexual. I didn't say Minta is Dembele. I said he reminds me of Barcelona Dembele. Who the fuck is Hussam sexual? Am I missing something here? I feel like I missed a crucial bit of information. Who the fuck is Hussam sexual? Am I Hussam sexual? Hang on, people. I'm getting a text message. I'm going to text and stream at the same time. Give me freedom. Give me fire. Dude, I love that song. Give me freedom. Give me fire. What a fucking great song. I don't think that. Now I won't be there. Every time I have woken up at 4:30 in the morning to watch this fucking football team, we lose. So I'm doing you a favor. I just want to let every Liverpool fan in the world know that I'm doing you a favor this weekend. I'm doing you a favor. I'm doing you a service by not watching the game. I've never watched us win at 4:30 in the morning. So I'm doing you a favor by not watching. That's really early. 4:30? That fucks your whole day. Either you're falling asleep at 8 a.m. or you're not fucking sleeping. I'm doing you a service by saying, I will sacrifice my own life for Pakistan. I will sacrifice my own viewing for the good of the team. I will ensure a victory by not watching. Yo, can you cocksuckers stop fucking comparing me to other streamers? Holy shit. God damn. I'm not even a content creator. I just stream and rant and then I turn it off. Ty from AFTV. That's insulting, Amir. That's insulting. I don't really watch Turkish at all. So I don't even know what this comparison even means. I kind of feel bad for Ty though. Ty gets a lot of stick. He's just a really positive guy. You know, he's a little bit delusional, but sometimes you need delusion. Okay, sometimes you need that delusion. You need it, you know. You need that delusion. Anyway, I'm running out of steam here. I was gonna have a guest, but I guess life got in the way. It's all good. Barcola is cool, man. Barcola is cool. It's cool to have Bradley Barcola. Finally. Finally, we don't have to fucking sit here and talk about that ever again. I don't have to fucking hear the name. I don't have to look for fucking Fabrizio. I don't have to think about fucking PSG. What I do have to think about is the lack of right winger, the lack of midfielder, the lack of right back. But hey, man, don't be so negative, man. Your team just spent 140 million pounds. It took them 2 months to spend 140. But don't be so negative, man. Your team allowed Mohamed Salah to walk for free. Your team allowed Ibrahim Konate to walk for free. Your team let Trent Alexander-Arnold walk for free last year. But hey, man, don't be so negative. What are you so negative for, man? Why are you being so negative? I understand that you only solve one problem and you have 4 more problems, but don't be so negative. That's all I hear. We move one thing at a time, 1 foot at a time, 1 toe at a time, 1 step at a time. There's no multitasking in this fan base. There's no multitasking at this club. Brick by brick we go. Brick by brick we go. At just a ridiculously slow pace. Guys, there is a massive bomba. There is a massive bomba. Amir, you best be careful. I'm going to time you out, Amir. I'm going to have to time you out. Amir, that you have crossed the line the last time. It is time for you to be timed out. I've had enough of you for the day. Where the fuck is... can I just go to my fucking stream? Holy shit! I want to do this in fucking YouTube. There we go. Here we go. Where's Amir? Hang on. Okay, wait. There we go. Okay. Amir. Put user in timeout. Timeout, 5 minutes. Amir, that's enough out of you for the next 5 minutes. But I wanted to show. I'm sorry, Amir. It deleted all of your messages. That's not what I intended. I didn't want it to delete your messages. I just wanted it to time you out. I apologize, Amir. YouTube is stupid. It should not do that. Is there anything new on X? Just checking X one more time. Are Chelsea winning? Yeah, they won. They won 2-0. As expected. Listen, bro, I like Nmecha. I like him. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't like Nmecha. Nmecha? Whatever the fuck his name is. Brother, he's been at the club for far too long. Far too long. Either way, people, I've run out of steam. An hour and 15 minutes of me talking is just too much. It's just too much of my voice. There's only so much of me I can handle, and I can't handle much more than an hour and 15 minutes. What does this even mean, Liverpool 67? What the fuck does that even mean? Who are Hussam and his sexual? Liverpool 67, go touch some grass. Listen, guys, we signed Barcola. So I could never play this clip.
No. We're completely fucked. We're completely fucked.
I can't play that clip. We just signed Barcola. How could I play that clip? How could I ever play this clip?
No. We're completely fucked. We're completely fucked.
It would be so disingenuous of me to play that clip. So I'm not going to play that clip. I'm not going to play that clip. I'm not playing that clip today because we signed Bradley Barcola. We've solved one problem. We've solved one problem, so I can't play that clip. Because that clip says completely. We can't say completely. Maybe I should do a voiceover and say, we're 80% fucked. That would be better. Hey, man, listen. I feel for Tom. I feel for him. He was so giddy. I saw his little breakdowns. He listed like 90 different players that we could sign. He's got like 12 different options per position, given the full fucking panel. You know, saying things like we're going to finish second. Now he's starting to panic because there's 5 days left and he doesn't know what the fuck we're going to do. So I feel for Tom, but this is why we don't get giddy here. This is why we live in reality. I got giddy last summer and I said, we're going to win the lot. And I'm never going to make that mistake again. Never. I will always trust my instinct with this team. I am not going to ignore reality. I'm not going to ignore my subconscious. Yeah, that's just fucking stupid. This club doesn't know what the fuck that they're doing. Richard Hughes is leaving in 5 days. FSG let Arnie Slot stay here until fucking June. We let 3 players walk for free. 4. We let 4 players walk for free. About to be 5 because Virgil van Dijk will leave for free. This team doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. FSG's idiotic. They fired our fucking CEO. This club is in shambles. It's complete disarray. It's total clusterfuck. There's no deeper plan. That's the problem with these YouTube guys. They all think that there's some deeper plan at play because they can't accept the reality of the fact that our club fucking stinks shit. You see, the biggest issue with YouTube football is that people live in denial. They refuse to accept reality. Because in order to be a football creator, you have to support your team. And supporting, of course, means blind faith. So you have to have blind faith and blind positivity. That's the only way you can support. So I get it. He has to believe. He must believe. Because Liverpool is everything. He must believe there's a deeper plan at play. I got bad news, guys. This club doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. And I don't really trust I don't trust their judgment. And Barcola in the door, that's great. Still has to prove it on the pitch. If there's anything that these marquee signings over the last 2 seasons have taught me, it's that money means jack shit. I don't care what the fucking fee was. If I don't see the performances on the pitch, you're a waste of money. The higher the money, the bigger the risk. You're taking a massive gamble and hoping that Barcola will just pan out. We'll see. Only future will tell. Probably not going to go live tomorrow. My thoughts on the Nottingham Forest game are simple since we didn't even get to it. We should win that game. But I'm going to leave no thoughts because I'm not going to watch because I'm a curse to the 4:30 a.m. kickoff. And so when I wake up at around 9 a.m., when I wake up at around 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and the game has been over for 6 hours, when I wake up 6 hours after the game is finished, I'm expecting to see a nice W. I'm expecting to see a cool 2-0. I'm expecting to see Verts stunner. I'm expecting to see Isak banger. I'm expecting to wake up and see a dub. Anything short of it, catastrophic failure. For this game, I'll focus on outcome. It's the first game at Anfield this season. It's the first game at Anfield for Iraola. Make it a win. At the bare minimum, show me passion. Show me fight. Give me freedom. Give me fire. Come on. Give me some. Give me some. Give me something to cheer for. Anyway, big up to you guys. Appreciate you hanging out for an hour and 20 minutes of me talking in circles. You know what I realized? I don't have any background music. So like there's nothing filling the dead spaces and I pause a lot because I don't like to say and like and and I let the dead space breathe, but it's a little uncomfortable. And honestly, I would like some music in the background. Maybe I should turn off monetization because I don't give a fuck about it. And then I should just play music. Because without monetization, you can play music. You can't DMCA something that you can't make money off of. So maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just turn off monetization and play songs I want to play in the background. That would be nice. Anyway, that's enough for me. I'm going to go figure out what else I need to do with the rest of my day in my life. So, big up Barcola. Still need more players. Summer is far from over, except it's almost over. And yeah, let's get a dub against Forest. Big up. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to play it. I can't play it after we won 140 million pounds. After we spent 140 million pounds, I can't play our usual outro. So I'm just going to do an awkward peace sign. Awkward peace sign.